Welcome back. Today I'm going to present you a 2007 American supernatural horror thriller film called The Reaping. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. Father Costigan notices that his photo collection is selectively burning. When he puts them together, he realizes that they form an upside-down sickle with a cross across it. This is Ceres' inverted astrological symbol, which is supposed to symbolize motherly affection. Some feel it when the symbol is inverted, like here, it is a satanic symbol. Meanwhile, Katherine and her assistant Ben are researching rumors of a miracle in Conception, Cho. While researching the region, Katherine discovers a pile of hazardous material illegally stashed in an underground oil well, which is ruptured and is creating the symptoms of the miracle, as well as infecting the locals. When Katherine returns to Louisiana, she receives a phone call from Father Costigan, who warns her that it was her face burning in his photos as a sign from God. Katherine disregards the warning. Doug, a science teacher from Haven, requests Katherine's assistance in determining the cause of the local river turning blood red, which the villagers believe is a disease caused by a 12-year-old girl who they think murdered her elder brother. According to Doug, the girl lives in an area that was abandoned by the majority of the community after being devastated by multiple hurricanes. Katherine and Ben inspect the river and send a water sample to a lab for analysis. Katherine meets Lauren McConnell while she is there. They also see dead frogs dropping into the lake, probably from high trees. That evening, they are attacked by flies, who wreck their food and cause sickness, which kills all of farmer Jim Wakeman's cows. Katherine is certain that all of these plagues have a scientific reason. Because the area lacks a motel, Doug invites them to stay the night at his house. The power goes out that evening, and Katherine rushes to see Doug, who is outdoors at his wife's gravestone. Doug urges Katherine to sip wine provided by the villagers after the two exchange personal information about their past. Katherine was a preacher who accompanied her husband and daughter to Sudan for missionary work. After a year of drought, the locals sacrificed Katherine's family to God in order for it to rain, leaving Katherine heartbroken. They later returned to the house. Katherine and Doug have passionate sex in a vision, obviously succumbing to their increasing feelings for one another. Before waking up, Katherine sees images of Lauren as well as her own tragic history. Katherine walks to the McConnell's house alone in the morning, where she discovers a cult emblem engraved on the walls. She encounters Lauren again and has a glimpse of what truly happened between Lauren and her brother. She also sees Lauren's mother, who requests that Katherine kill her daughter before being attacked by a psychotic Lauren. Lauren's mother asks Katherine to leave. Meanwhile, Ben and Doug hear about the cult in town. The test results return shortly after learning about the cult, proving that the river was really transformed to human blood. The villagers had to shave the heads of all their children because of a mass outbreak of lice, and they have turned into a mob ready to kill Lauren themselves. Katherine insists on a scientific explanation for everything and attempts to prevent the mob from killing Lauren. Ben and Doug try to convince the mayor to evacuate the town, but he and his staff are infected with boils and therefore unable to help. Katherine calls Father Costigan against her better judgment, and he informs her that the symbol he saw was that of a satanic group. He tells her that they sacrifice every second born in order to make a perfect child, with the eyes of the devil to grant them power. He also claims that an angel, who cannot be harmed by the cult, will appear at some point to punish them. He believes that Lauren is that perfect child in Satan's image, a rare appearance of a girl as the Antichrist, and that the plagues may simply a satanic charade to safeguard that child. He also tries to persuade Katherine that she is the angel sent by God to destroy this cult, and therefore she must kill Lauren. As he tells Katherine all of this, a mystical force begins to burn everything in Costigan's room, trapping and killing him inside. Katherine goes to the McConnell house alone, desperate for rational answers, and discovers a sacrificial chamber and cult artifacts in the basement. Lauren's mother appears and informs Katherine that someone controls Lauren now, before committing suicide. Lauren locates Katherine, but is distracted by the approach of the villagers. The sheriff and the outraged villagers gather around the McConnell house, ready to attack and kill Lauren, when hundreds of locusts appear. The locusts seem to be under Lauren's command, and they swarm and kill Small, his son, and the sheriff. The signs become increasingly difficult to ignore, and Katherine begins to suspect that the plagues are the result of a supernatural force, and that she should kill Lauren. Ben and Doug flee from the locusts, while Katherine locks herself inside the house to avoid them. Ben hides in a tomb and calls Katherine to tell her that he is trapped because Lauren is outside. Katherine rushes towards him, knowing that she is the only person Lauren trusts in. Katherine arrives and discovers Ben is dead. She confronts Lauren, but fireballs burst from the sky as darkness falls. Katherine has overpowered Lauren and is about to kill her when they share a vision of Maddie and Brody McConnell holding someone's arms down. Lauren considers herself fortunate that Katherine was sent to her. They had a longer vision of the cult attempting to kill Lauren, a second-born child. Lauren managed to flee and her brother Brody stabbed her, but her wound mysteriously healed instantaneously, and Brody died. Katherine understands Lauren is innocent, that she did not murder her brother, that the villagers are the monsters, and that she must defend Lauren from them, rather than assist in murdering her. She realizes that Lauren is the angel that is sent by God. The villagers surround them, and Doug tries to convince Katherine to kill Lauren. Lauren is being protected by God from the villagers, and only a chosen servant of God, such as Katherine, can kill her. The villagers had turned their backs on God after their town was ravaged by multiple hurricanes, and they asked Katherine to study the miracles in the anticipation that she would join them, since she had also turned her back on God after her family was killed. Katherine, on the other hand, remains on Lauren's side, partly because she associates Lauren with her own daughter, who was sacrificed in Sudan in a similar way in which these villagers are attempting to sacrifice Lauren. She also knows that Doug was the one who murdered Ben and that he framed Lauren in order to persuade Katherine to kill Lauren. Katherine reminds them that the community was comprised solely of firstborns because they had sacrificed generations of secondborns. At this point, the fire begins to fall down on the villagers, killing them. Doug sticks a knife to Katherine's throat, warning her that if Lauren is not slain, she will die as well. Katherine encourages Lauren not to be afraid because this is God's will. This demonstrates that Katherine has regained her faith in God. Lauren then controls the fire to kill Doug while sparing Katherine. Katherine and Lauren drive away together. She claims that they will be a family of just the two of them. Lauren tells Katherine that they will be three, herself, Katherine, and the baby she is carrying. Katherine is pregnant with Doug's son, which recalls Katherine of the night she pictured herself with Doug. As part of the villagers' efforts to make a demon baby, he offered Katherine wine spiked with an intoxicant. Doug forced himself on her and removed all evidence after she became near comatose from drinking it. She awakened the next day with no memory. Katherine is concerned that her son is in fact the foretold demonic child, and the movie ends. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to watch more videos like this. Give a thumbs up. It really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.